Hey guys, welcome to the highlights for the Formula 1 Championships on GTA 5 for Week 3 on Grapeseed Grand Prix, or Seed Circuit, the actual track name, which lasted for 31 laps in total, an hour long, and of course 2 mandatory pit stops for 20 seconds between lap 10 and 14 and 20 and 24. So there's all the information there. I was quite confident with this track. I did pretty well for qualifiers. I started in pole position. You guys will see the results there just after this information screen. The 4th Grand Prix coming up this week is going to be pretty tense. I'm not a huge fan of the track. I'm not quite confident with that as opposed to this track for the highlights that you go out to see. So it's going to be interesting throughout the championships. You know, people have their own preference. Now, as you can see, I started on pole. JVD close behind in 2nd place. Picard, my teammate, in 3rd. Good news for the Constructors Championship. Neo Dark in 4th. Quite unusual spot for him to start at. 5th place, Ryan. Craig in 6th. Nama in 7th. Defiance in 8th. His teammate Substyles in 9th. Combo in 10th. 5th place deduction for him, who was supposed to qualify in 5th, but of course he messed about with qualifier 1 with Shawnell included reduction there as well, which Shawnell ended up starting 17th because he did not make it into Q2. So yeah, interesting stuff. So this is the sort of preparation for the formation lap. Mini temper was the safety car, and shit was about to go down. Unfortunately, Shawnell, who's Lightning McQueen's teammate, Craig, you know, he disconnected. Now Craig of course disconnected last week on Sandy Shores Grand Prix. Now this time his teammate Shawnell disconnects, who did pretty well, who won the Grand Prix last week. So that was extremely unfortunate, but it's unusual that Shawnell started in 17th position. Technically he was supposed to start in 12th position if he did not mess about in qualifier 1, blowing people up. So here we go, run formation lap. This is an awesome shot from Bruffy himself, the cameraman, one of the cameramen out of the few that we have for this series. Danny Boy, aka BXCW ABCDEFGH, also was the 2nd cameraman for this race, who took the chicane shot. It was pretty awesome. So yeah, let's get straight into the race without wasting any further time on the formation lap. I'm sure you guys expect or pretty much know exactly how this works. So sticky bombs went off, had a pretty good start reacting to those bombs, and had 1 car length gap already from 2nd place. Picano was already applying pressure on the inside against JVD for 2nd position. So things are looking pretty good for Team Fusion right now. So approaching the tight section, I was expecting the safety car to be called at this point because there's bound to be some huge collisions. At the moment it seems pretty fine until that point there. Yuchi got caught up with Mac in there on the inside, that corner, huge collision at the back of the pack, and unfortunately from Yuchi starting 10th position going all the way back to 19th position. Good thing Mackin actually gave the position back and himself being behind Uchiha in 20th position. So unfortunate start for both of them. You know, stuff like that can happen at the beginning of the race. So the safety car was called out. Mini temper came rolling through the pack, and this is pretty much the safety car lap for the first initial lap of the race after the sticky bomb went off. Not even a little mistake there from Mackin. So was kind of shaken from that incident, I guess. It was recovering, but hey, shit happens, man. So here we are, pretty awesome shot from Bruffy here as everyone's coming through the safety car laps. Quite a few positions have changed. I'll keep you guys updated throughout the position changes throughout the race, as you guys will see the shots anyway. So the safety car goes off. The race pretty much starts here, just at the exit of the hairpin, and everyone's off, you know. So JVD's in 2nd, Picano's in 3rd, Neo Dark Shadows in 4th, going into lap 3 here. Wanted to show you the first few laps of the full lap itself, as you guys will see how shit went down. So zooming in straight to the first shot again. Now everything went smoothly. Fortunately, the 2nd safety car was not called out, and you can see Craig's there in 5th and Ryan's in 6th, and everyone's coming along nice and smooth, no mistakes so far from everyone. And you can see Yuchi and Mackin working their way back from the pack, you know, from 20th and 19th position. So right here you see JVD is pretty much going to be applying pressure against me at the beginning, and in my mind, you know, I'm pole position. I want to just relax, you know. I don't want to think too much about anything behind me. I want to just focus on this race and not to make mistakes and just be consistent. I wasn't going to push the chicane at all, just like how I would usually push it through practice sessions. I would ease off the gas during this race, throughout the entire race. Not a single time did I push that chicane. I'm pretty sure most of the other people did that. Quite a few people actually were ballsy through that, and that's crazy, and they did not make a single mistake. And so you can see a pretty awesome shot for the chicane, and JVD pretty much right now nearing up bumper to bumper with me applying a lot of pressure. So JVD was pushing hard at the start, and I wasn't sure that was a smart idea from him, because obviously considering the 31 laps, an hour-long race, you know, he was obviously trying to apply pressure against me, and I was definitely feeling it, man. You can see he's already trying to grab the inside there, but I had upper hand on the outside, grabbing that speed, and just making sure that I did not want to give away a position early. So I just wanted to defend, but at the same time push as well, but make sure he doesn't come anywhere near me, so he gets the opportunity to go for an overtake. So it was a definitely difficult task for me. Right behind JVD was Picano, the Neo Dark, then Craig, Ryan, Nema, Defiance Wires, Substyle's teammate, and so forth. So on, Mike Bauer, Mr. Rogers, little mistake there, oversteers a wonder, so Looney grabs the position. So there's quite a few things going down there. Mackin and Yuchi are still trying to work their way up. No position changes for them just yet. So on to the next lap, approaching the chicane. What's going through my mind right now, because JVD is literally half a car length behind me, although you can't see his bumper there, his front bumper, but he's still right there next to me. And there it was a clenching moment, I guess. You know, he's right there. Holy shit. Oh, wait a minute. He makes a mistake on the apex, loses out of position. Picano grabs second. Neo Dark swarming through with Craig there close to each other. Insane stuff. Now the pressure is completely off on my shoulders, and I can breathe again. You know, I was thinking that for a second he might have grabbed me there if he had have pushed it, because I eased off the chicane and he just floored it. And that's what could happen, you know, if you're pushing too much, going for a position right off the bat. You know, mistakes can happen like that, as we clearly saw in the first Grand Prix when I tried to do an early move like that and I made a huge mistake. I was 31 seconds behind. Keep referring back to that because I never want to do that again. But it's a little bit of gap between me and second place, but you know, right now it's good news for me because Picano is my teammate. We're currently first and second, so this is looking good for the Construction Championships and the Drivers' Championship. So right now you can see Neo Dark in third position, Craig in fourth, and of course JVD now losing out on 2 more positions due to that chicane crash. Right behind is Ryan, Craig, and so forth. So all this little move, their little mistake. Ooh, Defiance Wise screws up there, hitting the pole. Almost pretty much grabs the outside dirt and goes through that recovery and not getting held up by that crash. So Defiance Wise loses out a few positions. I'm not sure if that's Defiance Wise or Substyles. We see right here as they come along as Nema. And I think that was Defiance there, and this is Substyles. Actually, yeah, so it seems like Substyles or Defiance Wise, either one of them made a mistake. Not too sure there, because, you know, obviously they're the same color, I can't really see their name. But as you can see, Uchiha, Makin are pacing through the pack from the back into lap 6 now. We're going to skip forward now, as we've pretty much seen quite a few full laps. So Picano and Neo Dark going out of the battle. Craig, Ryan, and JVD at it as well. Nema there. Oh, Substyles makes a mistake. So yeah, Defiance Wires actually in fact made a mistake. That's a consecutive. Look at that, consecutive mistakes, one after each other on that pole. Pretty much identical mistakes to each other. So yeah, Substyles and Defiance Wires, of course, in a team making early mistakes there in the first few laps. Here we are still on lap 6, skipping through. There you go, Craig, Ryan, JVD coming through the shot, and Nema right behind JVD. And you see Substyles right there, and Rogers, and then Mike Bauer and Mr. Nismo going at it. Then Uchiha, Makin, and then there is Defiance Wires back there as well. So Defiance Wires had a pretty good start, then dropping positions due to that mistake and furthermore mistakes after that. So I'm in the lead, Picano in second, Neo Dark ever so slightly losing speed against Picano. So Picano is pacing through, trying to peel off Neo Dark. And there you see Substyles. Oh, Nema makes a mistake, so Rogers grabs the position. Nema cuts back, slightly prevents his teammate El Mister from gaining speed on the exit there. So that was interesting stuff. You know, that was extremely risky, but unfortunately it was teammate there, so I'm sure it wasn't a huge deal. May have affected the overall result at the end though. So it will keep this going. Top 3 going at it there. And Craig, JVD, Ryan at it. So JVD's grabbed the position against Ryan. And now JVD's teammate Rogers coming through there. And this is Mike in 8th place. Nismo in 9th. 10th place is Nema. And there's a fight right now for 10th place. There's 2 teammates, Mac and Looney, at it there. And Uchiha is now pouncing through his already head. And trying to grab the positions back from him starting 10th and all the way back due to the safety car collision. Now, you see Rogers there coming through 7th place. Mike Bauer in 8th. Nismo in 9th. Elmwister now in 10th. Substyles in 11th. Nema in 12th. That's my bad. I said it the other way around. I thought it was Nemo there. But you can see El Mister's in 10th. And 22 minutes in, this is controversial stuff on the hairpin. Nemo tries to grab the inside. Unfortunately, takes out his own teammate. And Substyles gets caught up. And Defiance also gets caught up there. And Uchiha now is right behind El Mister in 12th place. While El Mister's 11th. So that's interesting. And Nemo kept going. So it was definitely a lot of lag contact there. So I don't think on Nemo's screen he touched El Mister. And he wasn't aware of that. So definitely a racing incident there. And a lot of position switches there. Look how close this battle is right now. Substar trying to grab inside against Uchiha. And does manage to do so. Defiance is at it as well as teammate. But Uchiha is trying to pounce through the pack. You know, El Mister is currently now in 11th place. And Emma's in 10th. Here's Craig. JVD. Ryan's slightly peeling off pace there. JVD's pacing through with Craig. And here we see Rogers coming through the pack at 7th place. And on 8th and 9th having a battle, who's Mike Bauer and Nismo going at it. And then in 10th place we have Nema right behind his teammate El Mister in 11th. And there's a huge battle here for 12th, 13th, 14th, 15th, 16th, 17th and 18th. So these cars flying by into lap 10 now. Here we go, skipping through for the first shot here. I'm in first, Picano in second, Neo in third. Pretty much the same as before, but now there's a battle emerging between Craig and JVD. And Ryan is slightly losing out on the pace there against JVD, but still keeping up and being consistent, which is important. Rogers there, as you see, in 7th place. 8th and 9th, close battle between Nismo and Mike. Bumper to bumper stuff. Nismo's going for a move. Nema's in comfortably in 10th place, but look at that. 11th, 12th, 13th, 14th. Ooh, 13th, little collision there. You know, so a lot of incidents are happening right now. Ooh, that was interesting. Little controversial moment there in the back of the pack. Now, skipping straight forward, lap 10. Close little battle emerging between Neo Dark and Picano, and also a battle between JVD and Craig. And Ryan's following by. So there's a battle right now between 2nd and 3rd and 4th and 5th. However, 6th is just creeping by along with 7th. And there you see Nismo pulling a move against Mike Bauer to grab 8th position. Nemo's just there in 10th. So Mike is currently 9th position. And there you see El Mister plowing through with the pack with Uchiha. Interesting stuff, man. So into lap 11. You know, pit windows open, by the way, between lap 10 and 14, which one mandatory pit has to be made. So this is where a few people were making their pits. The front of the pack, no one entered the pit on lap 10. So it pretty much stayed the same for top 7 here. No one entering the pits on the first pit window lap. And of course, here you see interesting stuff coming in from 4th, 5th and 6th, where JVD managed to grab a position against Craig. So JVD's ploughing through after his first mistake on the chicane. So he's doing pretty well, grabbing 2 positions back after losing 3 from his mistake on that very same spot. Now you see on to lap 12. 4th place JVD, 5th place Craig, and 6th is Marion trying to plough through, keeping up with Craig and JVD now. Interesting stuff. Here's my first mistake. I oversteer on the chicane. That meant the gap closed between 1st, 2nd and 3rd. So there's a 3-man battle going on right now for top 3. So insane stuff, bumper to bumper now with my teammate Picano, but right behind him is Neo Dark Shadow. And I was planning to go into the pits on lap 14. I'm pretty sure the top 5 are going to do the same. However, in this situation, what you see right now, where Neo Dark is in 3rd right now, but he decided to go into pits on lap 13. So that was definitely interesting. But what you see right now, I think we are approaching lap 13 right now. So yeah, we'll see. So we're finishing off lap 12. Here we are onto lap 13, but Craig has pretty much entered the pits at this point. You'll see him go off there on the other side. So here's the top 3 battle into lap 13. Remember, lap 14 is the final lap of the first pit window that you have to pit. So you see Craig's off the shot there. That's because he's already entered the pit, but he's still in 5th place, where Ryan's in 6th. So you see there JVD coming in 4th, and there's quite a bit of gap for him and Ryan. Ryan's in 6th technically, but right now is in 5th because of the pit window. So yeah, interesting stuff. Now here we are pretty much approaching the end of lap 13, and you'll see Neo Dark right now just behind Picano. And basically throughout the next lap, me and Picano are going to go at it with a battle. Now what would have been smart is if Picano went into the pits right now, he would have been able to hold his position 2nd spot against Neo Dark, because what happens after is that, okay, right now, so Neo Dark's gone into pits, right? He's going to stay for 20 seconds while me and Picano are going at it. So Picano's technically being slowed down by me, because he's obviously staying behind me and is not too fussed about going for the position. Now, when Neo Dark gets released, now if he has no one in front of him, he's able to make up time. So what happens is, for me and Picano going for our pits on lap 14 along with JVD and Ryan, as you see right there, there was a position change through that process, and that was quite interesting. So here we are, coming near the end of lap 14, where pretty much the existing top 4 right now have to enter the pits, as Craig and Neo Dark have already done so the previous laps. So pretty much right now Picano could have easily pulled a move there, but you can see he's allowing me to keep first position. We're both entering the pits along with JVD and Ryan here for our first pit of the 2 mandatory pits. So I'm going to skip through the 20-second process. Here we are, I'm allowed to exit after 20 seconds. As you see Neo Dark grabbing second spot there. So he pretty much paced it through that one lap to grab that position against Picano. Now Picano stuck in 3rd position going into lap 15. So interesting stuff there, good strategy from Neo. So he's able to grab pretty much a free position from that pit maneuver. And now positions have changed, while Craig's still in 5th place, pretty close to Ryan though. So Ryan was able to close the gap from 6th to 5th. And JVD still pacing through 4th position, creating the gap from 5th and 6th. What you see here, Mike Bauer in 8th place, Nema in 9th, Uchiha in 10th, Nismo losing out a few positions in 11th place now, and Elmis is in 12th. And the 2 teammates, Defiance and Substyles, there in 13th and 14th. So interesting stuff. And 33 minutes into the race, half an hour mark now, halfway through. We're approaching now, and things are looking extremely interesting. Huge gap though between 6th and 7th. 7th place Rogers having a pretty quiet race, but 7th place is still good points for him. And between 7th and 8th there's a huge gap. So you see Mike Bauer coming through in 8th place. 9th is Nema Combo in 10th. Nismo is just behind 11th, and the Elmist in 12th. But let's take a look at this interesting little moment here as things do end up changing. Uchiha is trying to go for a move on the inside to try and grab that 9th spot, doesn't do so. Nema holding the outside. Uchiha backs off, a little nudge there from Nismo, but Nema also the pretty poor exit there. Huge collision, comes back onto the track. Some demon drag puts off Uchiha, meaning that Nismo grabs 9th place right now. So moving on straight to the next lap. See here, pretty close battle now between 2nd, 3rd, and JVD's caught up to 3rd place, whilst Marion and Craig at it with a battle. So Craig's lost out a position against Ryan there. So Ryan's now in 5th place, and Rogers there slowly creeping up. And now you see a shot of the 8th place, 9th, 10th, 11th coming along. So Mike Bauer's in 8th, quite a bit of gap against Nismo there in 9th. In 10th, it's El Mister now, and Uchiha in 11th. And behind them is Substyles, I believe, or I think Defiance. I'm not too sure, either one of them. So here's a little clip where at this point in the same lap, is a controversial moment, a racing incident where Picano oversteers, and honestly, in my opinion, Picano should not have waited. He loses out a few positions there because JVD goes in for a move pretty early from that oversteer, and as Picano recovers and tries to counter steer, you know, JVD ends up with a little collision against Picano's rear. So honestly, in my opinion, Picano should not have waited, and JVD was obviously, I guess, put himself in that situation. But it's still good sportsmanship from Picano. He was trying to wait for JVD. JVD went reverse. I don't know why. He tried to get out of people's way. I think trying to get out of Craig's way and Ryan's way. And yeah, things have changed around from lap 16. So into lap 17. Unfortunate stuff there for Picano, my teammate. So now, 1st place myself. Neo Dark in 2nd. And, you know, in 3rd place is Craig. Ryan in 4th. Picano in 5th. And a little bit of a gap from 5th to 6th, and JVD is there. Actually, sorry, JVD was behind his teammate Rogers. Rogers makes a mistake from 6th place back to 7th place now. So that's interesting, you know. 8th place there, Mike. 9th is Ryan. Sorry, what? Where the fuck off Ryan? Nismo and El Mister. They're coming through along with Uchiha. Nice little battle emerging there between them. So let's keep an eye out for those two guys. Battle for 10th is pretty damn crazy. Now at this point, you know, lap 17, there's a bit of a gap between myself and Neo in 2nd place, and there's a bit of a gap between 2nd place and 3rd. And so 3rd, 4th, and 5th are pretty close to each other. That's Craig, Ryan and Picano. And JVD's got pretty much a gap to chase down from himself in 6th to Picano in 5th. And of course Rogers pretty much in the same place as before from his mistake. 7th place with pretty much equal distance from himself and people at the back. Nismo there chasing after Mike, but Nismo managed to grab 8th place though from Mike yet again. And Mike's now in 9th, Elmis is in 10th, Uchiha in 11th. So position change once again, but let's take a look at this battle that Elmister and Uchiha are going at it right now. So here they are, just after them passing the chicane, and there's a huge controversial collision here. Uchiha tries to brake, but a little bit late there. Elmister goes flying off to the other side of the track, and Uchiha's engine pretty much cut out of there, and his race was over. So unfortunate stuff there. Even the pit stops could not help him. So let's take a look at Elmister there. Tries to cut back, gets a little bit of a nudge there, and Elmister's off. So from 10th place all the way down to 15th, I'm trying to recover here. Look at the other cars on the other side, trying to dodge him. That's the top end of the grid. And yeah, pretty much from that point, Elmister retired. His engine also blew. The pit stop could not do anything about that, and his team pretty much ditched them after seeing or witnessing that insane collision. So unfortunate stuff here, but yet again a close little battle here between third, 4th and 5th, and there is 6th place JVD trying to keep up. 7th place is Rogers, but that's crazy, man. So Uchiha and Elmister currently retired from the race after that incident. Here's Nismo still in 8th place. Little bit of mistake from Mike Bauer, which meant that Nismo was able to peel away in the 8th place there. Defiance just creeping up ever so slightly at the back there. And there you see is a Wonder in 11th place. 12th place is Nema, recovering from his mistake, and 13th is Makin. And on this lap, Uchiha in 14th. However, his fuel runs out along with his tires exploding and pretty much his car exploding. So he had to jump out of his car and end up joining the spectator stands. So yeah, his race was pretty much over along with Elmister's. So unfortunate stuff there. But as you can see, me currently still in the lead. Quite a bit of a gap against Neo Dark pacing through. And there you see Craig, Ryan going at it with a battle. Picano trying to keep up with Ryan and Craig's little battle for 3rd, 4th, 5th. And that's JVD in 6th. Going into lap 19. Interesting stuff here. Things are getting a little bit tense. A lot of changes. So many different things changing all the time, man. Little mistakes here, incidents there, people retiring, engines cutting out, man. You name it. But look at this battle for 3rd, 4th and 5th, man. It's still going at it, consistent stuff. And JVD is still trying to keep up there in 6th place. So here we are, skipping through the track on the chicane bit now to lap 19. Neo Dark in 2nd there. Quite a bit of gap from 2nd to 3rd, but 3rd, 4th and 5th really close to each other, pretty much bumper to bumper stuff. Picano's caught up to Ryan there in just one lap, from a little bit gap from the previous lap there into lap 20 now. Here we go, things again interesting. 11 more laps to go from this point, or technically 12 more laps. Look at this. Picano's trying to make the inside move. He manages to grab the 5th position now, going at it for Ryan there. So he is plowing through the laps here. He's plowing through, making these moves, and pretty awesome move there on the inside against Craig. So Craig's now in 5th place. JVD still in 6th, chasing through, taking the opportunity of the gap that he has to pace through. And Craig's now peeled off slightly with the pace, and Picano and Ryan at it now, going away from Craig. So into lap 21, you can see me there going through with a little bit of gap against Neo. I think about 3-second gap at this point. And a huge gap between 2nd and 3rd now, like about pretty much 6 seconds. So Ryan, Picano and Craig really close to each other there in 3rd, 4th and 5th. JVD still trying to keep up. Here we go, skipping through lap 21. Pretty much stays the same at this point for top 2. However, Neo's ever so slightly closing the gap, as I was trying to make sure that I'm consistent through the chicane, easing off all the time. But pretty close, intense battle for 3rd, 4th and 5th. While JVD is creeping up ever so slightly again. Here we are. I was pretty damn relieved from that person exiting from the pit. I thought he was going to get in the way, but it's perfect timing there. And I was able to not having to work for an overtake against a lapped car. As the pit windows are sort of opened. It is actually open from between lap 20 and 24. So Craig's gone into the pits now from 5th position. So you see JVD going through this. So Craig's gone into the pits quite early yet again. So that's why you don't see him on that shot. And here you see, once again, first and second, the lapped car, of course, K-Dog from his early pit. And here is Ryan and Picana going at it for pretty much, I think, about 10 laps in a row, man. They just bumper to bumper. JVD's there creeping up ever so slightly. So lap 23, you know, remember lap 24 is the last lap of the second pit window. Neodarks is let through by K-Dog there, so Neodark did not have to do anything really. He just stuck to the racing line and grabbed second there without anyone in the way. Ryan peeling away from Picano there, so slightly in 3rd position, and JVD's actually ever so slightly creeping up to 5th there, who's Picano. Sorry, 4th, who's Picano. So JVD's currently 5th. However, technically speaking, he should be 6th because Craig still, you know, is in that 5th place. We'll never know what happens in the pits, but pit window is still open. And yeah, technically JVD is 6th, although it's 5th right now. So lap 24, which is the last lap of the second pit window, where everyone has to pit who has not yet pitted for the second mandatory pit. So that's me, Neo, Ryan, Picano, and JVD who has to do that. But Picano's bumper to bumper right now with Ryan. He may have to go. He may have the opportunity to go for a move, but we'll see how it goes. See, Looney currently getting lapped as well. So approaching the end of lap 24, where everyone is going to be pitting, and it's insane stuff, man. Right now, it's getting tense. This is getting tense. 48 minutes into the race, here he is. Ryan Picano still going at it, bumper to bumper stuff, and JVD's there in 6th place. Technically in 5th right there, but obviously, you know, well, technically in 6th, but currently in 5th. That's what I'm trying to say. What are you saying, man? Yo, calm the fuck down. Why are you judging me, dickhead? Alright, here we go into the second mandatory pit. 20 seconds. Take the hairpin. Pretty much double clutching there. I don't know how, but I did not want that, actually. That slowed me down, technically. So, me and Neo at the pits. And you see Ryan still bumper to bumper with Picano going to the pits at the same time. Skipping through the 20-second boring pit there. Nothing much went on. I managed to get a perfect pit entry and exit. And Neo Dark is still behind me, 3 seconds. You see, going into lap 25. 7 more laps to go. And here's skipping through the first little shot here. Neo Dark's keeping up. And from this point onwards, he's going to be closing the gap so quick. Because, of course, I was feeling the pressure, knowing that he was only that many seconds behind. Ryan and Picano going at it. Now Craig, of course, finishing his pit with everyone else joining in. So JVD still in 6th, just behind Craig, though, in 5th. So there's a little battle emerging now from all positions in the top 6. Whilst Rogers is still in 7th, nice and easy for him. 8th place is Mike. Something happens in Nismo after the second pit, where Defiance Wires actually grabs 9th and Nismo in 10th right now. So here we are, Neo Dark Shadow trying to close the gap for 1st place. Is really pushing it right now, and there's a battle for 3rd and 4th right now, and 5th and 6th. Absolute crazy. You guys will see that right now. Ryan and Picano still going at it even after the second pit. You see Craig and JVD going at it as well. So when Craig pitted early, it didn't really work out for him, I guess. So that's interesting. So you can see ever so slightly Neo Dark closing the gap there. Look at that. It's scary. That is scary. Now pretty much 2 seconds behind me on the same straight there. Here's bumper to bumper action with Picano and Ryan going into the 50-second marker, and Craig and JVD at it as well, pretty close. And that's Looney getting lapped there, unfortunately. So here we are, near approaching end of lap 25. And Neo Dark still pushing. He's pushing through that chicane, whereas I'm easing off. So every time I do that, I'm losing out. Every lap about 0.3 seconds, 0.4 seconds. And Picano's also pushing through that, closing the gap through Ryan. But JVD and Craig got equivalent distance throughout that section. Sorry, into lap 27 now. Sorry, I don't know lap 26. So into lap 27. Here we are. Nismo, sorry, not Nismo. Neo Dark keeping up with me there. I'm still trying to keep consistent with myself. Oh, Picano's trying to make an outside move. Tries to cut back, but Ryan defends really well on the inside and keeps that position. JVD's closing the gap now against Craig, applying that pressure. It's all going down, man. It's all kicking off at the end of the race here. Crazy stuff. Whilst Neo Dark is closing the gap for myself for 1st place. So there's a battle that's emerging for 1st and 2nd now near the end of the race. Also 3rd and 4th bumper to bumper right now through the chicane. Picana literally bumper to bumper with Ryan there, and JVD is keeping up with Craig as the gap's being closed as each lap goes by. So here we are going into lap 28. Right, 4 more laps to go at this point, and Neo Dark has closed the gap yet again even further, and he's pretty much now near enough 1 second behind, and that's scary. That's scary. 3 more laps to go after all of that, and here's Ryan and Picana at it again for 3rd and 4th, whilst 5th and 6th are going at it as well, pretty much how it was beforehand. And here's the chicane. Once again, I'm easing off, so New Dark's once again closing the gap through that point as well. So right now in my mind, I'm kind of shitting myself. But during that same lap here, lap 28, Picano's got opportunity to go for a move. Unfortunately, he went a little bit too wide to try to cut back in, whilst Ryan was defending the inside, rightfully so. Picano loses out there, on once again oversteering on the exit of the chicane and losing out a position also against Craig. Now Craig takes 4th position. Picano oversteers there again, which meant he lost a little bit of speed there as well. Into lap 29, JVD still in 6th though, and you can see Neo Dark and myself, similar gap to the previous lap, but he's ever so slightly creeping up. You'll see that. So lap 29, 3 more laps to go. Huge gap from 2nd to 3rd though, absolutely huge. About, let's say, near enough 15 seconds. So Ryan and Substyle is getting lapped, by the way. So Ryan's still in 3rd, Craig's in 4th, Picano and JVD going at it right now. So let's see, take a look at this lap. So lap 29, and here's Picano, and Craig's ahead of him. Craig makes a mistake, lack of concentration, get a little bit tired there. So Picano gets held up there. So JVD grabs, squeezes in 4th place there, and Picano's down to 5th now. So unfortunate race for Picano overall. You can see there, a lot of incidents he's getting caught up in a few racing incidents and collisions and controversial moments. So JVD takes advantage of the situation in now 4th place, fighting through, and Ryan's now peeling off into 3rd place. As you can see there, here he comes through, nice and comfortable with a pretty decent gap from 4th there. But 4th, 5th, going at it. That's the lapped car, Substyles. Unfortunate race for him near the end, and that's 6th place there. Was Craig with quite a bit of gap to go. So into lap 30, 2 more laps to go, and this is where it's getting a bit crazy. You see the current standings. In 4th place, JVD, 5th, and Picano. 6th is Craig, 7th, Rogers, Mike Bauer in 9th. 8th, Defiance in 9th, Mackin in 10th, and Nisbo seemed to have retired at this point. Something happened to him, so Nisbo certainly did retire from 10th place. That's why Mackin's in 10th now, having a battle against Nemo throughout that process for defending 10th place. So that was insane stuff. Sorry I couldn't really show it on the highlights though. But see, Ryan now in 3rd, comfortable, 2 more laps to go at this point, and JVD, Picano going at it 4th and 5th, and 6th place is Craig now. Lost out all his momentum after that crash. So you know, interesting stuff. But there's a battle emerging. You know, Neo Dark is pushing and is closing the gap for myself in 1st, and shitting myself at that point. Look at this huge gap though, from 2nd to 3rd, and that's Ryan there coming through lap 30. Near the end of lap 30 here, JVD's peeling away from Picano in 4th place, and here we are going in to the last lap. Right, so let's take a look. Not sure what's going through my mind right now. All I knew is that not to make a mistake. If I make a mistake right now, he's won the race. So let's just try and stay ahead of him. And this is where racecraft was put down onto the table to the biggest test ever. 1 hour straight racing into the last lap. Neo Dark has caught up. A lot of pressure was on my shoulders right now. I was really damn slow in the last 4 laps. You know, trying to make sure I don't make any mistakes because of the gap that I had. Because of that, now I'm in this situation. I took that corner extremely slow. So Neo Dark trying to go for the move. I gave him as much space as possible at the same time. You know, just making sure I'm forcing him on the inside with enough space and trying to grab the outside there. If I had of course stuck to the racing line, he would have easily have the move on me. So I defended there really well to hold that position. And right now it's all square again. You know, approaching halfway through the lap. I'm still in 1st. He nearly had the move on me. So close. Fortunate that he grabbed a little bit of dirt there as he tried to hold the gap that I gave him. So let's take a look at his point of view. My point of view through the chicane, I do ease off, and he's able to keep up here, plowing through insane stuff to keep his composure on the final lap. He's going for it. He definitely wants first place here. And he managed to grab extra speed against me here. He's trying to go on the outside. Cannot. He actually track extends. Cuts back. I oversteer. I'm still on the racing line. He tries to go into a non-existent gap. And he obviously bounced off the railing. And I bounced him off from in sort of a ricochet, a rebound off my car. So let's take a look at that in slow motion. I oversteer. I'm still on the racing line. He goes into a non-existent gap. And tries a move that was not going to work out for him. But in my mind, at the heat of the moment, I thought I took him out. So I waited and I allowed him to go into first position. Now, he was in the same mindset. He thought that he was in the wrong as well. So he eased off the gas at this point. So we were all square. Although he's in the lead, at this point, grabbing the hairpin, he's still in the lead. He's flooring it throughout this entire point. I managed to get a better exit out of him. But, you know, this is a hell of a finish. Photo finish, or near enough photo finish. But I managed to grab first place there through the hairpin. It was an insane finish, man. But there's also insane finish for 5th and 4th. For Picano, doesn't defend it inside. JVD goes for an insane aggressive dive bomb and grabs 4th place there. Pretty clean move. And unfortunately, Picano loses out some points there, finishing in 5th. Overall, it wasn't the greatest race for Picano. Unfortunate stuff there all round. And JVD with a pretty decent comeback after the mistake he made into 4th place. Ryan finishing comfortably in 3rd after a pretty consistent race and a pretty intense battle against Picano. Craig finishing 6th after his mistake, and so forth, so on there. Rogers in 7th. Mike Bauer in 8th place. Defiance in 9th. Mackin in 10th with an awesome battle against Nema, holding that 10th position. 12th is their Wonder, so forth, so on there. As you guys can see, retired races: Elmister, Nismo, Uchiha. Shawnell could not race, of course, because he disconnected, and also Substyle, something happened to him. So yeah, here's the Drivers' Championship. I'm currently in the lead with 49 points. It's pretty tense up top there. Neo Dark in 2nd, Picano in 3rd, JVD in 4th, so forth, so on. Here's 11th, 12th, 13th, and there you guys have it. So it's looking interesting for the F1 Championship so far, man. Constructors Championship, Team Fusion, who's my teammate, and myself, doing pretty well for that. And it's pretty much double the points from 2nd place there, who's Lightning McQueen Racing, who you know, they've had a few disconnections. So you know, overall, I'm quite pleased so far with this season. You know, anything can happen at this point. You know, this is obviously just the start. Make sure you guys check out the 2nd week if you missed out. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. Hopefully you guys enjoying so far of this championship. It's absolutely amazing, man. Anything can happen throughout this. Yeah, I can't wait for the next race. Thanks for watching, guys. I'll see you guys next time. Check you. Sign out. Good night. Peace. Yeah.